Welcome back to the Neshoba Valley Chamber Business Buzz. My name is Melissa Fetterhoff. I'm the president and CEO of the Neshoba Valley Chamber. And today I'm super excited to be here with Peter from Aveli by WSI. And Aveli, we're going to learn about Aveli. We're going to learn about what you do. You help businesses with AI, strategic planning, and strategies for online web presence. Lots of fun stuff. So, Peter, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about who you are, what Aveli is.
Yeah, so who I am, I'm a 30 plus year technical computer science person that turned marketer. One of the things I learned as my career in many of the startups in the area was very successful startups had a strong marketing organization, had a CEO that believed in marketing, that helped take that company to end up with a positive result, going public, getting acquired by another great company. So when I left corporate, I went and tried to find a company that I could start that would match that, kind of my technical background as well as my understanding of marketing as well. And I found a franchise called WSI World. And WSI World is in about 80 different countries, 1,100 plus owners throughout those 80 countries. And we're an organization that we work very collaboratively, working with each other and helping each other market companies all throughout the world. What we like to have is like global knowledge, but local expertise. So we're like a local marketer, but we are able to collaborate globally.
That's fantastic. Now, how long have you been with WSI?
So 7 years.
Okay.
So I've owned the franchise.
Excellent. And I will give you a little plug. You were a guest speaker for us at our Chamber, Massachusetts Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives annual meeting a couple years ago. And, right when AI was really so spanking new for everybody. And so very helpful for a lot of us chambers. Thank you.
Yeah, I did that at at that conference, and I did a bunch of different chambers in the local area, helping basically just introduce AI to many of the business owners that were, at that time were like, it's not that it's not changing fast now, but it was really changing and really trying to adopt, and people are just trying to get their heads around what was going on.
So talking about AI, everything changing fast, slow, what sometimes seems slow, sometimes fast. What do you see how things are changing still today?
Yeah, things are still changing very, very fast. One of the things that we're noticing, and I would say specifically in the marketing area, is how search is evolving. And what's happening now, what we used to go to Google and type in very choppy keywords, or just going into AI and explaining a problem, or to even taking a picture like, hey, can you help me solve this, fix this problem, right down, even down to like a trade, like, oh, I'm having this problem with my heating system, what should I do? And it will help you and it will guide you. But then what's happening now is like it may mention, it's like, oh, you may need to seek professional help, and I'm in this area, and I said, oh, speak to this person. So companies need to start to be aware of now that you're being mentioned in AI versus as well as Google. And even in Google, that's changed with this AI overview, right? That's a big piece that we're seeing.
So I'm jumping topics a little bit. You analyze web, search, local presence, and social media. Why do you feel like those four, things are important to businesses?
Well, right now so AI is looking at everything. So a lot of we may have heard of this term in the past, like search engine optimization. We've developed something in the past called adaptive search engine optimization, which is our approach to that. We've actually changed that now, and now it's adaptive search everywhere optimization. And the biggest piece is visibility. So when we're talking about analyzing everywhere and where you show up, we're trying to analyze a company on their visibility online. So it's not just in search. Are you showing up are you doing PR? Are you showing up in press? Are you showing up in, Reddit now is really important. Quora. All of this stuff influences AI to say your business is worthy of being a response to an AI answer.
So how do you go in and help a business?
We have tools, and we'll go in and look at where they are, what's being found, where they are. We'll look at their website,
Okay.
again using tools, and we'll determine the biggest piece is messaging. Right. The worst thing is to go to a website as a user, as a visitor, and say, "What do you want me to do next?" It's like really not clear. A key word we'll call to actions is the call to action clear? What do you want them to do? And what are the steps involved in that? What am I going to get when I go to the website? And it should be very clear, like, oh, step one, you're going to book an assessment with us. Step two, we're going to give you an estimate on that job. And step three, we're going to go do the job. It's as simple as that, right? That's what really the end user wants to understand.
Yeah, so it to me, like when you're talking like Reddit and all these things, like my mind is kind of, jumbling around, and it's can be a little overwhelming, but you go in, you help them, and you make it much less overwhelming.
Yeah, and so when talking about social, we'll look at, oh, when's the last time you've actually posted something on social media? I mean, these are signals that a user will look at when they're looking at and evaluating doing work with the business, especially if it's a large project. They'll go over the website, they'll go at the social media. It's like, oh, they haven't posted anything in a year. Or even if you're trying to hire somebody, like if you're trying to grow your business, future employees will look at that social presence. It's like, what does the company like to work with?
Hmm. I've many times go to find information about a business, and it's weird when you go to a page and it's like, 5 years old. You're questioning, is the business still around? What's going on? So yeah.
So not only are you questioning it, Google is questioning it.
Uh-huh.
When Google looks at, when's the last thing things have been updated, they're questioning is like, is this business valid? And there's another business that's more active online. And that's kind of a big piece of what influences both AI and and the search. One of the algorithms that Google's used for a while now is it's changed a little bit of its EE, experience, expertise, authoritative, and trustworthiness.
Hmm.
Trustworthiness of reviews, like that's a hard thing for businesses, I understand it, but asking reviews and having some type of reputation management in place. And also, if you do receive a negative review, kind of take it offline. Don't air your grievances online. Just like, oh, well, we'll reach out to you. We understand that you weren't happy with service. We'll reach out to you and we'll call you.
Although it is kind of funny sometimes to sit back and get a thing of popcorn and watch some of those conversations, but you don't want
Yeah,
to be in that
yeah, but
conversation.
it becomes permanent
Yes,
online, right? And you're like,
yes,
oh, and
yeah.
I
We
do
don't want
see
to.
that, and I'm like, oh, I would have rather you just respond. We would like to address your concern online. Please call management.
But you have to address it.
Yes,
It's something like you can't just leave it there and not respond and think it's just going to go away. You have to address it.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely needs to be addressed. But what I'm saying is, don't
Yes.
air it in the public.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So you're locally owned, but you're part of the global WSI network. How does that benefit your clients? I know you started to talk a little bit about it, but talk a little bit about it more.
Well, it helps me because we'll have like standard, just like any other consulting franchise, we'll have standardized processes that we follow. We'll have the biggest piece. We have standardized frameworks that we're building, and I was part of like the AI and the build out of that one. So we have what's called our AI adoption framework that we built that helps companies take them through. It can be up to 6 weeks in adopting AI into their business. A lot of that is in the beginning, we're trying to come up with guidelines and what we call guardrails. So in a larger company, we're not talking a huge company, but we're talking like 20 to 100 people.
Okay.
You don't want like a 20 person, 50 person law firm going off and just using AI on their own without any guardrails. You want to have a structure in place that's here's how we're going to use it internally. Here's how, if we have to talk to our customers, here's our policy of using it externally. These are the tools that we're going to use, and so forth. And then we bring in the education piece. So then you guys help me promote that education piece that we did for individuals. We do that for businesses as well.
Nice.
And that's to basically get them AI literate so they understand what the capabilities or the tools are in place. And then they can take that literacy and says, okay, now I want to automate or influence AI in this particular task that takes me 10 hours a week. Mm-hmm. Can I shift that into AI and some automation to get that down to 1 hour a week?
Nice. I definitely haven't been using it to the best of its ability, but I am a huge fan of AI. Just the Chat GPT, it just helps me like refresh sometimes, I feel like. So, but I know that there's a lot more that I need to learn. So next class I'll sit in on. Tell us about the book that you brought.
Yeah, so like I said, I bought this book. This is written by our founder Dan Monahan, and it's really to help educate like business owners. It's called the AI Search Revolution and Adaptive SEO in the Age of AI. So it's how we've adopted our SEO practices in the age of AI, and it really goes into what's changing, like what AI is looking for. This podcast, that helps you bring up authoritativeness and expertise.
Look at us do that.
So like PR is coming back because AI and the search engine, the platforms that when I'm talking like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini, and Claude, which seems to be coming up more. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I used to call the side note, like the Super Bowl, to me the theme was AI. I don't know if you felt that way, but there was
a lot of AI.
There was a lot of AI. There was the two big ones with Anthropic and Claude going against OpenAI. Yeah. Those systems are looking at everything, everywhere. Like, is this company being mentioned in Reddit? Or are they answering questions on the particular space? I encourage my clients is like, go look at what Reddit's and see if you can answer some of those questions in the machining space or something like that, because there are people asking questions. And when you go in and jump in and not promote your company, just be a thought leader, AI sees that. And it's like, and Google's seeing that too. Okay. If you notice that Reddit's coming up on that search engine page in core. Right, because they're seeing that as an authoritative source. On the other pieces, like the on the website part. So there's the visible part of the website, and then there's the not so visible part of the website. Mm-hmm. So AI is really reading some of that back end. So is Google, but now that's becoming even more and more important to work with your marketing team and make sure you're what's called the schema, which is like the back end kind of code of the website. It's a little bit different than it's HTML type.
Okay.
But it's what your business does, your hours, your address, and there's a whole bunch of different formats. That's how, like, sometimes when you look at a recipe, you can change. Oh. Because that's using, like, the recipe schema and the frequently asked questions schema. And all of those different pieces, those, again, the AI engine can read that code.
Okay.
And understand what's going on in that particular website page.
Okay. Interesting. It's just definitely above my head, so I'm grateful that we have you. So I have a few rapid fire questions. What is the favorite app that you use, or I guess favorite AI tool that you use?
Well, I've been heavily into ChatGPT.
Okay.
But I've been leaning to Claude. But the other one I've been using a lot, maybe a lot of people aren't as aware, is Notebook LM from Google.
Okay.
And it's free, and then you can, I think if you exceed it, you can pay, but they give you like 50 notebooks, I believe. What I like about that is you feed the sources in, and then you have it analyze those sources. Oh. So it doesn't go outside it sticks within the data that you gave it.
Okay.
So the chance of hallucination is very small. And that you can feed it like PDFs, you can feed it YouTubes, you can feed it a website page, and then it will analyze it and respond to it. And that will do things like generate a short podcast, which you can give direction on. It can generate like a slide deck. It can generate, I think, a PDF as well. So there's all these different pieces that you can generate with like the click of a button, or it can say like custom and give it a little bit of direction.
Oh boy.
And infographics, that's what I wanted
Okay.
to say.
All
Like
right.
really, really nice infographics because it's
Interesting.
using their Gemini Pro uh, graphic generation,
I guess I have some homework.
or Nano Banana, I think, Pro.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely say like check out Notebook LM.
okay. All right. What is a marketing trend that businesses shouldn't ignore?
I would say right now is AI search, and I'm starting to see it happening on like Facebook groups that people are saying, how do I get into ChatGTP? Like, how do I get mentioned? And some of the big ones are saying that Google will lose some of search, a big chunk of search this year,
Oh,
which is kind of the first. And we'll see. I mean, Google
yeah.
can say, our AI is better and stuff like that. But as we integrate AI, and it's happening, and like, I don't know if you've seen this, I think there's some commercials for like Alexa Plus, the Super Bowl commercial
Mm-hmm.
for Alexa Plus.
Yeah.
So that's different. It's now very conversational, and that's based on a lot of the work that's been done over the past couple of years.
Okay.
That same thing with Gemini, or Google Home has it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Apple's a little bit coming up to speed.
Okay.
All right, they're working with Gemini and Google, and so I think Siri's going to change hopefully in the next like 3 or 4 months to come up to on par with some of the other ones. So that's going to just alter everything,
Yeah.
meaning AI is going to be responding, and that's definitely a trend that I would see that's happening now.
Okay. All right. If you weren't in the digital marketing field, computers that you're in, what would you be doing?
I like helping robotics companies and stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
that's and that's also a lot of the stuff is like evolving into AI. It's like,
Yeah.
will we 5 years from now all have like robots walking around handing us coffees and
Right.
stuff like that? We might.
Do you think it's still important to you have all this online presence and everything, and making sure that we're investing in doing the right things online? Do you think it's still important for people to go to chamber networking events and do that one-on-one connection?
So one of our tagline is embrace digital, stay human,
I
and
like
that's
that.
like across the board, right? So we want to make sure or we'll use that human in the loop, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing I can stress, if you are using AI for marketing, make sure don't just like post it, like make sure you read that
Mm-hmm.
or send that email that's generated by AI. Make sure you go through it and read it and make sure that it's all valid and there's no like template text, like insert name here.
Yep.
I don't know if it's ever happened to you. It's happened to me where it's like, oh my gosh, nobody read that. And
Yep.
just cut, paste,
Whoops.
sent it out. And actually, I feel like this year, I think we're far enough away from the pandemic, and I think more like being with people is going to be actually even more important.
Yeah.
Because people still want to deal with people,
True. Very true.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, if people want to learn more about what you do, about your company, and connect with you, where are they going to find you?
Online. So the company is Aveli by WSI, AVELIBYWSI.com. Also, that's all the socials at AVELIBYWSI. And myself is usually like P Berson on Insta and Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that.
Excellent. Is there anything we didn't cover today that you wanted our listeners to know about?
The other part is when you're talking about like before you do tactical stuff, I mean that's you're probably like, oh, I need a new website, I need social media, I need SEO, I need to run ads. We prefer to talk to you about strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So don't spend any of that money until you have a strategy. An analogy could be like, yeah, you could build a shed or something by going to Home Depot, buying a bunch of wood, nails, shingles, and just have a pile and start assembling it without any plans. Or you can go and buy a pre-built like blueprint and then follow that blueprint and come up with a nice product. In our world, it's coming up with that strategy is that blueprint. So we wanted to analyze your competition. We wanted to find your what we call buyer persona, so you know exactly who you're targeting. A buyer persona is a fictitious person that you write down their needs, their wants, their pain points, where they hang out, household income, demographics. So when you're writing something or you're working on a website, you know who you're doing this for. So strategy first, and we have developed business frameworks for companies to help take them through that process.
All right, that's a great analogy about the shed. So for folks that are ready to work on their strategy, they can reach out to you. What was the website one more time?
Aveli by WSI, AVELIBY.WSI.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today, Peter.
You're welcome.
This was fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, special thanks to AJ of Clear Signal Productions, who is our podcast producer, for all of the work that he does behind the camera. Have a great day.